Hello everyone. In this video, we will be looking at how to consume a webhook in PowerAutomate using custom connector. So in my previous videos, I have explained about this API, and these are the endpoints which we'll be trying to use to create uh, a webhook in PowerAutomate. So these are the five endpoints that I have that I have here. One is the get uh, endpoint, which will tell us how many webhooks are registered in my API. The second endpoint is basically for registering a webhook to register for a new to-do event for my application. The next one is for an update. So whenever my to-do gets updated, um, this endpoint will allow the registered applications to receive an update. Similarly, for a delete webhook, whenever a to-do is deleted, all the registered webhooks will be, applications will be notified of deletion. The last endpoint is for deleting webhook. So for example, any application do not want uh, further notification for any of the event, they can utilize this endpoint to delete a particular webhook. Now, every webhook registration will come with its own unique webhook ID. Okay, so just a hint again, we are using SQLite as a backend data source. So all this registration, all the to-do events are getting stored in my SQLite files. Okay. Okay. So before explaining custom connector and another thing, let me give you a demonstration what I'm trying to achieve. So for registering, for let's see so let's go to Postman, and in that Postman we'll see that how many webhooks are registered currently. So if I go to this endpoint, which is this one, get a webhook events. So if I send that, currently there is no registration. Okay. And what I have done is I have in my PowerAutomate, I have created a custom connector. So what I have done is I have created a custom connector for register to do events. Okay, so from here I'm able to use the events in my PowerAutomate. So what I have done is I have created some um, test workflows. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to edit this. So it just has a manual trigger and an email. Basically, an email will send an email to me whenever a to-do alert is created. Okay, whenever a new to-do is created, it will send out an email to me. So to use my events, I can I can go ahead and delete this, and all the custom events will be available in the custom tab. So I have this register to do event. I click on this, and there are three endpoints, as you can see, for deleting one, new, and update. So in this case, I have to register for a new to do event. So I click on this. Whenever I click on this, I can use. So for example, in this one, I need to send an email whenever a new to do is created. So in this case, the property will be available in me in this event where the to do value. I can click on this and add. Okay, and I can save. As soon as it is saved, what it will do is it will send a URL of this flow to my application which will be stored in the database. So in order to check that, let me go ahead and again send a request for getting the webhook events. So as you can see, one event is registered here. The event name is new to do added, and this is the URL of the flow which got created. Okay, with that event. So this endpoint URL will be called whenever a um, new to do is added. Okay, so every time from any application. Similarly, for updating the to do, let me do the same thing here. Click delete this and add the update. Just update to do and update alert. And in this case, I'm returning two. One is the to do ID and what was updated value. So okay, so to do ID is this and updated to this. It will give me the new updated value here. Let me go ahead and save. So let's go ahead and see in our database a new event would have got registered, which it is. It's a to do updated. This is the URL, okay, of the flow. Same thing. Let's go ahead and do it for delete. Delete to do event. And in this case also I'm sending the to do ID and to do value, which will say deleted. Okay, let's go ahead and save. Okay, and let's see this if it got added. Yeah, it did got added. Okay. So similarly, so what in order to test this, what I have in earlier videos, I have created the same application which allows me to add an update and delete a to do. So let's utilize this to do an operation on this on the to do. So let's say that I'm going to create a new to do. So maybe create a video on PowerAutomate. Yeah, I can add a to do. Okay, so once this is registered, so it will go ahead and add the entry in my uh, in the database, as well as what it will do, it will search for all the events, all the applications event which have been registered with the event name as new to do added. And how many applications it has found, it will send a notification to this endpoint URL with the data of my value. Okay, new to do value. So in our case, we have this flow. So in this case, this new to do value, new to do automate would have been triggered. Okay, yeah, it has got triggered this just now. So if I go ahead and click on this, I can see that new to do created was create a video on Power Automate, right? Just to check whether other workflows got executed or not, let's go ahead and check on this. No, it was for the yesterday, so no other flows are getting triggered. Right flows are getting triggered. So in this case, I think I see there's a spelling mistake. So what I'll do, I'll go ahead and edit this update. Okay, and then I'll make some changes. Instead of I'll rectify the spelling mistake. And let's say I already created it. So let me update and create as created video. Let's update this. Okay, now it would have triggered the updated flow. So again, it would have what it would have done, it would have got all the rows which has the event name as to updated, and it would have picked the event URL and it would have triggered send a request along with the return values of to do ID or to do value in the body request. Sorry, in the body response. So it would have got captured here and it would have displayed. Yeah, updated to created a video on Power Automate. So it is picking up the right values. Okay, so now let's say that I have already created it. So why do I need it? So let me go ahead and delete. So I'll go ahead and create the ID as 3 here and say delete. So it would have triggered the delete to them. Okay, so to do ID is this thing, to do automate deleted. So this is how the functionality is. Okay, so now let's go ahead and see how did I create the custom connector. Annoying. Let me open a new tab and then let's go. Okay, let's go ahead and see this. So how do I create? Let me edit this by going to the security since there is no authentication and the definition. In the definition, I have created three triggers. So one is for registering new to do. In this, the visibility is none and it is a type trigger of webhook. Okay, it is not of type polling because I want it to be triggered as soon as the event occurs. Okay. So in the request, this import from sample in this basically I have given as a post and given the URL and saved it and here what it is. And in the body, I'm passing this endpoint URL. Okay, so this endpoint, the Power Automate will use this endpoint URL to send its value. Okay, the flow URL to this value, which will be getting stored in my database as an endpoint URL. Right. So this is what you see. Similarly, same thing is there in other three, but in different URL. Other things are same. Uh, Yeah, in this webhook response. So in this response, basically it is asking me what is the value written by my REST API, right? So in this case, since it's a registered to-do event, so only a to-do value will be returning. So that's why in the Power Automate you were able to see only one property for adding a new this thing, right, in your flow, in your sending file, sending an email. So this is it. And then for the trigger configuration, so in the body, since I'm passing this endpoint URL, so it is asking me what is the callback URL which Power Automate will use to store its value. Okay, so here I have to select that particular value. So because of this mapping only, it is I'm able to store it in my database like this. This is the URL. And yeah, so this is for about the registering of events. Same thing is for in update also. In update, in the body, you will see same endpoint URL, and the return value will be 2 because I'm sending the ID as well as the to-do value. Okay. And for deletion also, same thing, just like an update. Sure. Okay, in this response, there is a special need of sending a location in the header section because this is useful when you're trying to delete your webhook. Okay, so in the documentation, if you see for the Microsoft, it is saying that in or the location header shall contain the path to the webhook that will be used with HTTP delete. For example, it is showing me here. So in the location field, uh, I am sending the URL of my uh, what do you call the URL of my endpoint, which will be using for deregistration. Okay, if you see it is expecting a webhook ID as a parameter. Okay, okay, here it is. So that's why in this location I have configured it that URL. And one action we have to create for deregistering the webhook. So this will be called internally by the Power Automate. So that's why the visibility has to be internal, because this we are not invoking by a particular flow, but this will be called internally by the Power Automate for deleting a webhook. Okay, so when it will be receiving this action, when the action in the Power Automate in the flow will be deleted. So I'll show you that action. And in this, the request will be, this endpoint will be called, and the webhook will be called as a query parameter. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So this, when this action will be called, this action will pick up the URL from the location field which is being configured in these actions. Okay, we have seen that as a drop down. So that location in the API I'm passing as in the header. So if I just if I just show you in this particular example, uh, for registering a new to-do event or some any other, or all the for all the endpoints, I'm passing this location URL, which is nothing but calling the deregister webhook event with webhook ID. Okay, so this is I'm replacing it with the dynamic value, and this I'm passing as a header. So this location URL will be used by calling the endpoint of my application, which will ultimately delete the record from my SQLite file. So that's how the mapping is done. Okay, so yeah, that's it. That's about the custom connector. And so just to show you again, how did I remove the action from my Power Automate. So currently, as you can see, there are three records. Let's say that I delete this action, and I manually again set as a manual trigger. As soon as I save this, what this will do is it will know that earlier the action was I registered new to do event, and now it has been deleted. So once I save this, it will call the deregister action from the custom connector, and which will call my deregister API with the webhook ID, and as soon as it receive that update, my code will the code will run, and it will delete that particular ID which has the webhook ID which has the ID of one. Okay, so in this case one. So if I send the request again, so as you can see, new event has been deleted. Okay, same thing I do to my other flows. I go ahead and delete this. Hopefully it will delete the delete event. Yeah, it did. Okay, and going to the next one. Yep. Okay, so that's it, guys. So that's what I wanted to show you. So this was about custom connector using Power Automate. Hope you liked it. Hope it was useful. Let me know any comment that you have, any question that you have. Okay. Thanks a lot, guys, for attending this, for spending your time on this. Have a good day ahead. Thank you. Bye bye.